Hey friends, it's Kelsey. I hope you're doing well. So today I want to hop on and talk about a recent diagnosis I've had for SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and just talk about symptoms I've experienced and digestive issues I've had, and hopefully save you some time and money if you're experiencing these same type of symptoms. So I was diagnosed with hydrogen-based SIBO. I believe there are 3 types of SIBO. So I will let you do your Google research on that. But hydrogen SIBO, from what I understand, is one of the easiest forms of SIBO to treat. I started experiencing symptoms with SIBO about 2 years ago. Prior to having symptoms, I was having frequent sinus infections. I had a deviated septum on the left side of my nose. I was born with it. And as a result, I would get frequent sinus infections and my sinuses were just not draining. And so I was on antibiotics and steroid shots like every quarter for like 3 or 4 years. It was pretty bad. And I had just recently started seeing an allergist to talk about allergy shots, and they were giving me antibiotic and steroid shots like it was candy. It was just excessive. And so as a result, I believe that it threw off my gut health, my microbiome. I just messed my stomach up big time. And so about 2 years ago, I started experiencing shortness of breath, and it was pretty scary. If you've ever been pregnant, I would compare it to that feeling. It's like something's pushing on your diaphragm and you just feel like you can't catch your breath. It is that same sensation, and it really scared me. And so I ended up going to the ER, and they thought like they were checking me for a heart attack. They were just doing all the tests and everything. They did like a lung x-ray, everything looked good. And so they basically sent me away saying, go see a cardiologist, see a lung doctor, get checked out by a gastro doctor, see your primary care doctor. And so I kind of left there with no answers. But I will say, while I was there, I just had this sensation in my stomach, like my upper stomach, it just a full feeling. And so over the course of a couple hours that I was there, I started feeling better. And I did follow up with all the doctors, had like the stress test at the cardiologist, an echocardiogram. They looked at my heart. They could find no issues. I went to the lung doctor, did a pulmonary function breathing test. My lungs were functioning properly. Went to my primary care. And of course, she was like, you need to see a gastro doctor. And so I remember going to the gastro doctor and her just telling me, it sounds like you might have IBS, acid reflux, take this pill, which was a proton pump inhibitor, pantoprazole. I got on that temporarily, but I started like feeling better. So I would feel better, for a few weeks, and then the shortness of breath would come back. But in that time frame, I started experiencing like kind of indigestion, burping all day. And so a friend of mine is a chiropractor, and he also specializes in nutrition. And so I went to see him to get his input because I really trusted. And so at that point, he recommended me doing a stool test, which is so much fun, let me tell you. You basically have to use the restroom in like this little, it looks like a nacho boat. But he recommended that I do that so we could really get to the bottom of what was going on. And in that test, it was pretty eye-opening. Like a lot of my markers were indicating that I had like leaky gut. They did find blood in my stool sample. And so he recommended that I go back to my gastro and do a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. And so I was super nervous to do that. But if you're going through this, like, don't worry. I would say the worst part of doing a colonoscopy is the preparation for it. Like you're basically just drinking liquids the day before. I think you're taking laxatives, like you're flushing your system out. And so that's the worst. The colonoscopy itself was easy, like other than being nervous, like I went in, it was seamless. I woke up and they gave me the results. I was really blessed that I did the stool sample test because finding the blood in my stool was the reason for that is because I had a polyp in my colon that I needed to get removed. They did send it off for testing. It was benign. It was not cancerous, thank goodness. But my gastro doctor told me that if I would not have come in a year, it could have developed into colon cancer, which is super scary because at the time I was only 39, I think. So if you're due for a colonoscopy, go get that done. After the colonoscopy and endoscopy, she basically diagnosed me with esophagitis, just inflammation in the stomach, told me to go take the pantoprazole indefinitely. And I just kind of left there feeling a little defeated because I was hoping for like just more answers, I guess, for the shortness of breath. And she kept telling me that shortness of breath was not like a gastro symptom. And so I went back to my friend who is the chiropractor nutrition specialist, and he just told me, like, Kelsey, you don't want to be on a proton pump inhibitor for life. You don't want to be on it for very long because what that can do is prevent your body from absorbing like vitamin B. It can lead to osteoporosis, which already runs in my family. My grandmother had it. My mom has, I think, early signs of it. And so I don't want to be on medicine if I don't have to be. And so I took the pantoprazole probably for 6 months, and I decided to seek out the help of a functional medicine doctor. But before I did that, a good friend of mine had gone through like similar digestive health issues, and she's the one who said, I think you have SIBO. And I'd never heard of SIBO at the time. I called my gastro doctor. She didn't even test for SIBO. In fact, I don't think most gastros test for SIBO. So I went and hired a functional medicine doctor. I just Googled doctors in my area, looked at reviews. This one in particular did not accept insurance. I don't think most of them do. I could be wrong, but I've checked on a few and they have not accepted insurance. So a lot of this, I'm in the, like over the course of this time frame, like I'm just paying out of pocket for any like extra tests. And so the functional medicine doctor tested me for SIBO. It was the Trio Smart, it's TRIO Smart breath test. She was able to order it, have it sent to my house. It took like a few hours. I wasn't really prepared for that, but it took a few hours. I had to like drink a certain drink and then breathe in these bags and seal them up and mail off like all the bags. And so that's how I tested positive for SIBO. When I finally got the diagnosis, I was just so relieved. As soon as I left her office, I just cried because at that point I had been going through this for a year with no real answers and nothing really relieving my symptoms. Like the shortness of breath would just kind of come and go. And yeah, so since then I have done a couple of rounds. So I started out treating SIBO with it was like supplements that my functional medicine doctor had recommended. I just bought off Amazon. That didn't really help. So we decided to go the antibiotic route, even though I didn't really want to, because I felt like that's what caused the problems in the first place. But we did, I can't remember the first one that we tried, but it didn't work. The second one we tried was rifaximin, I believe. And I did 2 rounds of that. The first round was like 10 days. The second round was like almost a month. And so I wasn't really seeing relief, like from the burping and the shortness of breath. And at that point, I just reached back out to my friend that had originally recommended I get tested for SIBO. and she had had really good results doing Dr. Cabral's SIBO protocol. And so that is what, to this point, that is what I am following. I haven't had a big relief in symptoms yet, but I am just at the point where I'm trusting the process. This past month, so for the full month of January, I have been sticking with just a whole food diet. I've cut out eggs because I've been told they can cause inflammation. I'm working with a coach who has been certified and trained by Dr. Cabral or his certification program. And so I feel like I'm on the right path for myself. And two of my friends have already gone through this same protocol and gotten really good results and healed their gut. And so I'm just staying optimistic. I've had this for a long time now. And so I know it's just going to take time to heal. But a big part of that is just me following the nutrition program, following the supplement protocol, not veering off the program. So for example, like up to this point, I would eat some of my kids' snacks that may or may not be gluten-free here and there. I would go out to eat. During the holidays, I would have alcoholic beverages. I was drinking 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. And so I've cut out alcohol, I've cut out dairy, I've cut out gluten. I'm just on this journey. Like, I am so determined to heal my body. And, you know, I've read and have been told, like, if you have a lot of inflammation in your gut, you know, it could lead to worse things down the road. So I'm just really serious about healing myself and healing my body, and lots of prayer, lots of positive thinking, and just, I've been dealing with this so long. I've just had to realize, like, I am not a sick person. I'm just dealing with this right now, and I'm going to heal my body through nutrition and exercise and just treating my body like a temple and taking care of myself. And so that's been my outlook. This is where I'm at. I hope this helps somebody. I feel like I'm probably leaving some details out. One other thing that I have been dealing with, and I think it's as a result of SIBO, is a few months after I started having symptoms of SIBO, I got my first kidney stone. And I have gone to the ER several times for kidney stones. I just had my 4th one, the biggest one. They are no fun. I don't wish them upon anyone. But I've been reading, and SIBO has been linked to kidney stones because your body is not absorbing all the nutrients that it could otherwise. And when you have leaky gut, it's like an increase in permeability in your gut. And so basically when you're eating, like, food and particles are getting into your bloodstream, and like your gut lining should be like this. And everything that I've seen that describes leaky gut, it's like there are gaps in your gut wall that's allowing particles to get through. And so, you know, other symptoms that I experienced when I first started out with this are just extreme fatigue, brain fog, dry skin. So like my forehead and my cheeks, my face have been super dry. I've had like little patches of eczema on my legs, like my shin area. Those are just a few of the things, but I would say like the major symptoms that I've experienced that have just been super uncomfortable are the shortness of breath and the burping. And so I'm ready to just be on the other side of this. I am feeling better as far as like the brain fog, the fatigue. I don't have that like I did. So I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody. I hope I can save you some time and money. If you're having these same symptoms, I would say find a functional medicine doctor in your area, request the Trio Smart SIBO test right away, get to the bottom of it, get your diagnosis, and then move on to healing. And from what I've read, like, there are many routes you can take for healing SIBO. But this one, the route that I'm on now, I feel like it's the right path for me at this point in time. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I just like to be an open book for y'all. And yeah, my goal is just to be the healthiest, happiest, best version of myself this year, and be the best example I can for my kiddos. So anyways, love you all. Thank you for watching and hope to connect with you soon. Bye.